In 2018, when I was doing Google Ads, I had millions of keywords. I had millions of negatives. And today I have like 47 keywords in my entire account and it's performing wonderfully. In 2025, I'm just going to say it. Being good at PPC is how good you're able to feed the algorithm. In 2018, when I was doing Google Ads, I had millions of keywords. I had millions of negatives. And today I have like 47 keywords in my entire account and it's performing wonderfully. Look, if you learned paid search before 2020, using something like Broad Match would be setting your account on fire. It would be a terrible idea. People would laugh at you. Your clients would be screaming at you. You'd be wasting money. It just wasn't working for Google Ads accounts. But here's what nobody's talking about. Google didn't go in and just fix the account match types. They didn't go in and change them to work perfectly. Nothing like that happened. The account match types, they change. They don't even mean what they mean anymore. The naming conventions mean absolutely zero at this point. They're not even about that. This isn't about broad match or exact match at this point. It's about way more than that. It's about the fight for control and how advertisers are just dying to keep control of their accounts and holding on with every ounce of their being to keep control in accounts. They don't want to embrace the new technologies because they feel like Google just wants their money. Google's hungry. They only care about their bottom line. They only care about the shareholders. Look, I have heard absolutely everything. The people that still want to maintain all the control possible, they're extremely negative Google. You can hear them not giving constructive feedback. It's just not embracing where we're going because guess what? We're not going back in time. In 2025, I'm just going to say it. Being good at PPC is how good you're able to feed the algorithm. And I know that I sound really pro Google. I have heard it all. I've had people say, oh, you only work this way because you work with large businesses. But here's the thing. I have the data to prove it. I can look at my MCC, I can look at my client's success, and I have the data, and I'm going to share it with you right now so you understand what I'm seeing in my accounts. So first of all, when it comes to broad match, they're a low volume lifeline. I have had many clients that run small products, they're B2B, and their keywords might get like 10 impressions a month. They're all labeled low search volume. I literally have no choice but to use broad match. But here's the thing. It works because I have a conversion and smart bidding attached to it. So yeah, it's not ideal. It's not something that I wanted to do. I always kind of cringe as I have to do it, but I did it. I embraced the new times and it's worked for my client and my accounts. The second thing, if you've been into Google Ads for any length of time, you're constantly deal with cannibalization issues where one keyword's serving over here, it's serving over there, it's here and there. When you're mixing match types and accounts, and when you have some broad and exact and phrase, you never really know what would serve, even though Google's documentation says the exact term will serve if the exact query is matched to it. It doesn't always work that way. And so you always are fighting cannibalization and you're always trying to spend time keyword sculpting. I have so many spreadsheets trying to do this. And this is just a time suck that I could be spending elsewhere. Another thing is there's studies that prove that broad match is working. There was an ad analysis study that looked at over 16,000 accounts. And what they showed is, yes, exact match is great for efficiency, but the actual conversion value was higher from broad match. So people were making bigger purchases, larger purchases with broad match, and it was delivering more value for the clients. So let's address the elephant in the room. Google just wants your money. And here's the thing. Google does want your money. That is accurate. But they can only push so far. Google really does want you to succeed just as much as you want to succeed. And I know people don't like to hear it. I was part of a special group of people. About 15 of us were flown out to Mountain View. We spent time with Google in the room with the product managers. And I assure you that they absolutely do care. There were definitely situations where people who had been there in that special group the year before, I just went last year, I was not in there the year before, were saying, oh my gosh, we brought this up last year and you did change it. So Google is listening to us. The product managers have spent years and years developing those products by the time they go to market, and they are trying. And at one point during these conversations, one of the experts said, every single person in here wants to make the most amount of money in Google Ads. And that is accurate. So here is my framework that I tell clients. If you're going to run broad match with no conversion, not on smart bidding, you're probably in a bad position. Don't do that. Think of it this way. You're not telling Google, show my ads everywhere. You're telling Google, go ahead and show my ads to people who are going to convert when you do have that smart bidding and those goals on your account. So that is really important. You're not telling Google to show your ad everywhere. Google, show my ad under these conditions, but I'm going to give you broad range at the keyword level. So you're opening up the funnel, but you're constraining it with your goals and with your metrics. Now, what I'm going to say now is going to ruffle feathers. I feel like if you're still managing millions of keywords or thousands of keywords, you're getting left behind in today's world. And I don't mean this as I'm trying to sell you on broad match, but it's really time that you update your strategy for 2025. Else you're going to be completely left behind in this AI world. And before you say, but my industry's different, my account's different, we all are a little different. We're all a little special. Your account isn't that snowflake. Have you actually tested broad match, or are you just comfortable with what worked? Now, I'm not saying to go ahead and torch your exact match, but test it. Give 10 to 20% of your budget over to broad match and see what happens. And I would say let it run for about 30 days to get a real accurate picture. Because while we're debating whether machines can understand intent better than our keyword lists, your competitors are figuring out how to win with 90% less overhead.